Hello everybody, I'm Tilly Douglas from Visual Sense Crafts, and if you've seen the video where I bought an old sock knitting machine and did it up, you'll see that on YouTube. I'll link it below if you haven't seen that. I've done a series of videos to show you how I've got on as I've cleaned it up and progressed with it. Well, it didn't have any of these weights, these sock knitting machine weights, but I've managed to get hold of some, but as you can see they're in a bit of a rusty state. Now, I don't think these are bad at all really. I think they can easily be cleaned. There was this little clamp in it as well, so I'm going to give it a little test to see if I can get this sorted out, because that is well and truly rusted together. There's no chance of moving that at all. So I'm testing out a product that I've not tried before, and I wanted to show you how I got on in case it could be helpful for you. So this product is called Evapo-Rust, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. A super safe rust remover, water soluble, pH neutral, reusable, biodegradable, ready to use, non-toxic and non-corrosive. No acid, VOCs or fumes, safe on skin and eyes, removes rust to bare metal. So we're going to see how we get on with this. Now what it says is safe, simple, effective, environmentally friendly and economical. It's quite expensive. I can't remember how much I paid for this, but I know it is quite expensive, but I'm hoping it's going to be worth it. So for small object derusting, pre-clean item if it is oily. Well, these aren't oily, they're completely dry actually. Rinse item and completely immerse item in derusting, to be derusted for 1 to 12 hours, depending on the depth and age of rust. Check progress periodically. Once rust is removed, rinse item with water. For best results, soak for 24 hours. So we're going to give it a little test, and when I took the lid off this, I was quite surprised that there's no seal on it, and it's just not a very tight screw top, so be careful. I know it's supposed to be safe and all that, but you don't want it all leaking out, because you'll be wasting your money then. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour this in. Now, you're supposed to be able to reuse this stuff as well, but I think this is going to be pretty dirty by the time I finish with this. So that's covered. That bit's not covered. I might as well just put it all in. So that bit is not covered there. It's just stuck up out of the fluid a bit. So what we're going to do is to leave that to soak, and I'll come back in an hour. What time have we got now? So it's 1 o'clock, 8 minutes past 1. I'll come back in an hour and see how we're getting on. I know it says 24 hours for best results, but I just want to see how long it actually takes and if we can see any sort of movement in an hour. So I'm going to leave that there and come back in an hour. So it's actually been 2 hours because I've got busy doing something else. So it's now 9 minutes past 3. So we're going to have a look to see how this is doing. So actually you can see by the colour of the water that it is actually, the rust is coming off. And actually that's not looking too bad. It's been 2 hours and that's not looking too bad. You can see it's moving. Yeah, I think that's going to work, you know. Let's look at this. This is the big test really, because this just doesn't move at all, and the rust is coming off, but I didn't have all of this under here, so I might have to, no sign of it moving, I might have to turn it around if I turn it around and leave it so this part is all submerged, because it doesn't matter so much about this part at the moment, we'll just want to test, although that was all under the solution. So I'm going to leave that part submerged to see how we get on. So that's how it's worked after 2 hours. So it does suggest leaving it for 24 hours. But that, you can see that is actually coming off quite nicely. That is quite a big difference even after just 2 hours. So we'll leave it and see how we get on, and I will check it again tomorrow. So we're back with the little experiment for the Evapo-Rust, and it's now been sitting in here for 24 hours, and we'll see, well, we can see by the Evapo-Rust in this container that it's just black. So there's obviously quite a lot of gunge or stuff come off it. So we'll just have a little look and see how it's done. Wow, I think that is quite a success. That is pretty darn good, I think. So I've just got my toothbrush here. I'm going to just give it a little wipe down with that. And I've got some clean water just to give it a rinse off in there. And that looks pretty good. There is no rust on there. Just needs a little brushing that off with a toothbrush. Rinse it in the water, and I'd say that is a complete success. I'm really rather pleased with that. So let's give it a little wipe down, rinse in the water, and that's the second one. Well, I think that Evapo-Rust works pretty well. I would really say that was a complete success, because that has taken off all traces of rust. So I'm very pleased with that. I will definitely be buying some more of this. Like I say, I've never used it before, so this was a complete test for me, and I think, wow, I'm really quite impressed. That has brought those up beautifully. That's all it needs. This is just a quick wipe down. A little rinse. Perfect every time. Now the big test is another one of those, so we'll just wipe that one down. And all you need to do with this is to rinse it off in water, because it's completely safe to use according to the instructions on this Evapo-Rust bottle, the container. So completely safe and does the job absolutely amazingly. So I am completely in love with this Evapo-Rust. So now let's have a look at this one. Oh, there's definitely no movement there. I'll give it a little scrub. And it's done a pretty good job on the rust, but it doesn't move, so I might get that in something like some. Well, it needs quite a bit. There's still quite a bit on there. I don't think we're going to get that. I mean, it's had 24 hours, and although it's taken the rust off, that is not going to move. Let's just get, I've got a pair of pincers here, we'll just see if we can move it with those. That is not going to move. So further work needs to be done on that. I will leave it in to get all this clean. Further work needs to be done on that part. So, but for now, I would say Evapo-Rust is an excellent solution to cleaning rust off these old parts. Absolutely fantastic. I am so pleased with that and quite surprised how well that's actually done. Brilliant. So that was my little experiment. I hope it was helpful for you. So if it was, please subscribe and click the little bell notification so you get notified when we bring out more videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.